Hello, hi guys. Welcome back to the next session of Workflows, SAP Workflows, and thank you for choosing Zeki Tutorials. So guys, we have already discussed about the containers. What are the containers in our workflow? Now, the today's topic. So today we are going to start tasks. What are the types of tasks? So we are going to start this topic today. So what is a task? What is a task type in SAP Workflow? Okay, so let's start with the task. 1 second, guys. Let me insert it. So, what is a task? Task. Okay. So, what is a task in workflow in general? Okay. Let's provide a definition. What is task? So, in interview, somebody asks you what is task. How you need to answer the definition of a task. So, you can define task. So, how can you define a task? So, task can be defined as an activity that can be executed within workflow. Whatever the activity we are going to perform, whatever the activity which is defined, a task, and how can a task can be defined? So task can be defined as an activity that can be executed within a workflow. So we can use a task, okay, or we can say, or what we can say this, or we can say this, we can use a task to define how to define an activity. We can use a task to define an activity that can be executed within a workflow definition, or you can say or independently. How? As a single step. Second, independently. So as a single step. So someone will come up and ask you, hey, what is task? So what you can do? You can say task can be defined as an activity that can be defined inside a workflow. So as we have already seen, we have created a mail task, as we have also created a user decision task in our workflow. I will show you, just give me a moment, guys. Okay. So that particular task, what task? Let me share my screen. Okay, let me log into the SAP system, guys. I will go to log into the system. I will go to the SW DT transaction code. Okay. I think, okay, wait a minute, guys. Yeah. So, okay, this was my, what is this? This was my user decision task. Okay. So that is a particular, this is that particular task that can be executed through the workflow definition. Correct? Okay, I will. Okay, yeah, in the control, you can see something known as task, general decision task. So this is my task. Okay, so when we execute the workflow, all the tasks will be executed one after the other, whatever the process. Okay, as this was a user decision task. Okay, there you may have been different steps, as we have already discussed what are the types of steps. Okay, so you can see, guys. So after one after the other, all of these tasks executed. So all the tasks will be executed one after the another. We can say all the tasks can be executed one after the another. Okay, and we can also execute task can also be executed as individually. Okay, I will show you also this one, guys, how this task can be executed individually. Okay, so okay, is this clear, guys? Fine, I hope this one will be clear. So task can refer to automatically executable method. What are they defined? So task can be referred to referred to automatically executable methods. Okay, also, or they Okay, what we can define, task can be referred to automatically executable method. Okay, they can also need the user to execute them, or they can also need the user to execute them. Okay, so okay, is this clear, guys? So these tasks are, one second, let me go there. So these tasks will be executed automatically, and in some cases there may be a user. I will show you, we will discuss about that also, how through a user this task can be executed, or this may be executed automatically. Okay, guys. Now, so is this clear, guys? So there are two ways to execute a task. There are two ways. Second, guys, sorry. One second, guys. Okay. Yeah. So there are two ways to execute the task. Okay. What are the two tasks? It can refer to as executive automatically. First is execute automatically, which is also known as background task. Execute automatically, which is also known as, we can also say it as an automatical, we can also say it as a background task. So what is an example of background task, guys? Second, what is an example of background task? Okay. Oh, so the example, like we can say the example of meals test. What happened there? That particular meal step was executed automatically by a SAP system. We don't have any user invention to execute that that mail task. Okay, that mail task we have seen. So it automatically sent a mail. So it was a background task. So guys, we have seen as soon as we will approve it, so it will automatically send a mail in our SBWP, in our business workplace. As of now, we have put it as a WF initiator. So mail will come to us only. We will also see how can we send a mail to other user. So what was that? So that was a background task. So where, guys, we have seen like how the automatically that mail was sent automatically. Okay, so it was a background task, and we have received an email in our inbox. Okay, we didn't done anything with any step. Okay, to actually receive an email, we haven't done anything. So it was a background task executed by SAP automatically, and that the user who is responsible for all the execution of those background tasks. Okay, who is user the user who is responsible of executing all the tasks in the background was WF-batch. Once again, so this was the user. Okay, WFH, we have already discussed about it. So with this particular user, okay, I will write here again, with this particular user, all the background tasks will be executed. So which is the user, guys? So using the WF bash, all these tasks is executed automatically. Okay, I hope this one is clear to everyone, guys. Okay, so WF batch is clear. Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, so let's say one more example like of updating a material. Okay, in a sales order. Okay, of how, or a purchase order. Let's say we are deleting a material from a sales order using a workflow step. So what happens is, you may not be having sufficient authorization with your user to delete the data. But if, look at what I'm saying is, for example, we are having a sales order. Okay, so for that sales order, if you want to delete some material, okay, using the workflow step, so what happens is Sometimes you may not be having a sufficient authorization to delete that method. But if you create it as a background task, in WF batch, user will actually delete it for us. So using the WF batch user, all these background tasks will be executed as we have just seen. I told you like how these all these background tasks are executed using this WF batch user. Okay, so now there are different types of objects also which can be execute which can be used to execute methods, function modules, or business objects. So there are many things which we will be discussing in like coming up sessions only, but right now understand a task can be automatically executable, that is known as background task. Okay, so for example, a task, or you can say a task you needs a user invention, wherein task needs user invention to execute. So it cannot be executed on its own. So it actually needs the user intervention. It uses a user intervention to execute. So that is what my foreground task, and this will be executable by user. For example, user decision. So what are the two types, guys? One is my background task and another is my foreground task. I will write this foreground task. Okay, what is this foreground task, guys? As I just told you. So wherein a task needs user intervention, execute, okay, and it cannot be executed on its own. So that is what my foreground task. So guys, I hope this one is clear. Like what are the how the like, these are not the type of tasks. So these are the we have seen a task can be executed in two ways. First is using background task and another is foreground task. So the background task is a task which does not need any user intervention. Okay. And the foreground task which needs a user intervention to execute it. So that these are the two types of executing a workflow. Okay. Oh, sorry, to execute a task. Okay. Is this clear, guys? I hope this whole one will be clear. This is very, very important, guys, for your interview perspective. Okay. Now let's discuss about some types of the task. So we have basically or yeah, so we will discuss about the types of tasks, okay, in our next coming up session. Okay, so we are having here two types of task. One is single task and another is multi-step task, that we will see in our next session, guys. And okay, I hope that's all for this session. Yeah, so thank you for choosing this session, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye. See you in the next session, guys.